Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. I hope everybody is staying safe out there and hope everyone's doing okay. This is the Friday update, and we have 3 wide releases coming out this weekend, and that's definitely going to be affected by the coronavirus scare that's happening right now. And they are Bloodshot. It is the Vin Diesel comic book movie, and then the faith-based film I Still Believe, which is based on the true life story of Christian singer Jeremy Camp. And then the dark comedy starring Hilary Swank, The Hunt. Let's see how those movies did in Thursday night previews. Alright, before we get to that, let's jump right in with the reviews. I'm here at Rotten Tomatoes. As you can see down here, the top movie right here is Bloodshot. It's not going to earn the top movie, but they're listing it first because that's one with the biggest name. Terrible reviews, 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not good. I said in my preview that this is a DC comic book movie. Apparently I was wrong. It is based on a Valiant comic book character. So Valiant, as you know, is probably one of those not well-known comic book companies that makes it harder to sell the character. This is a movie that I say could probably open in somewhere in the 25 to 30 million range because erroneously I thought that it was released by Warner Brothers as under the the DC brand, except that it's not. It's by Valiant comic book character, right? Lesser-known comic book brand. And I also said that Vin Diesel, outside of his Fast and Furious franchise and Riddick, his movies don't usually do that well, and I was projecting this movie to open somewhere in the 25 to 30 million range, except that it's probably gonna do less than that, but we'll get to that. Right, let's move on down to The Hunt, which is actually the best reviewed movie of the 3 wide releases, surprisingly. It is a dark comedy. It's 55% right now, right? It's a dark comedy starring Hilary Swank, Betty Gilpin. It's about liberals capturing conservatives, or and hunting them for sports. It's produced by Jason Blum, scripted by Damien Lindelof and Nick Cruz. So yeah, it has some big names behind this title. It was supposed to be released sometimes last year, except that due to controversy, right, it was pushed until now. And the budget for this movie is about 15 million. All right, and up next is I Still Believe, 43%. So it's in the middle of the pack of the 3. It's a faith-based film based on the story of Christian singer Jeremy Camp. It stars KJ Apa, Britt Robertson, Gary Sinise, and Shania Twain. This is a movie that could probably open up in the 3 to 5 million range. Alright, let's move on to how these movies did in Thursday night previews. Let's start off with Deadline here. As you can see from the title, it pulled in 1.2 million in Thursday night previews. 1.2 million looks like a good figure, right? Except that they're estimating this movie to open somewhere in the 8 to 10 million range, which is a far cry from my 25 to 30 million. So yeah, it's going to underperform. Like I said, I thought this movie would be the top movie this weekend, except it's not. It's probably going to be Onward again. All right, and then we have let's move on to I Still Believe. Right here, it pulled in 780K, and this is a movie that's projecting to open somewhere in the 11 to 14 million range, surprisingly higher than Bloodshot, a movie which with a higher profile. This is a movie, like I say, is targeted toward it's a faith-based film targeted toward the religious, right? And typically those movies did really well if it hit it off with the target audience, but you never know when they'll hit, right? Except I say this movie might not be affected by the coronavirus scare. But I still say it's a 3 to 5 million opening, but it looks like it's probably going to do way better than that, 11 to 14 million. And finally, The Hunt, it pulled in 435K. And Deadline said it's probably the 3 days probably going to be in the single digits. All right, let's move on to to Box Office Mojo, where they had this movie. So they're projecting a 10 million opening for the Vin Diesel film Bloodshot. The budget for that movie is 45 million. And then for I Still Believe, they had a higher as well than Bloodshot, a 10 to 12 million opening. And for The Hunt, a high single digits. So there you have it. Let's see what the numbers comes in, because there is, like I said, there is this coronavirus scare that's going on, and people are advised to avoid crowds, and we don't know when the theaters are probably gonna shut off, because they attract crowds. All right, so that's it for the Friday update. Until next time, take care, everybody.